This is to the media, to your twisted, immoral society, and your communist government. We hate you all, and we are ready for war. We will always speak up and expose the corruption, the authoritarianism, the tyranny, and the hate.
Truth dispels lies, as light dispels darkness.
From an undisclosed location, deep in an occupied zone, you are listening to Covert Radio.
Hello, this is Covert Radio. And it is April the 20th, 4/20 of 2023. And it is early morning, about 7 a.m. I got called white trash yesterday by a black woman. And, you know, we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this probably like never before. And I'm going to say a few things that might hurt your feelings, okay? Your feelings may get hurt here. But I just want to make this clear right off the bat. And this is, you know, I guess the majority of the black people that listen to Covert Radio. Let me tell you something. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. So you either better join them or you better start to become vocally resistant to them. Because the Zionists and the communists, they have been and they are using the black voice to manipulate and destroy the black race. Let me say that again. The Zionists and the communists are using the black voices to manipulate and destroy the entire black race. And what's happening is good people, good black people are not standing up to what's happening because there's such a gaslighting conundrum. I've seen this now at 1,000-mile elevated view. And I've never heard anybody explain this the way I'm about to explain it to you. It's crystal clear what they're doing. I guess let me say it like this. You cannot kill. We'll say this. You cannot destroy a colony of bees without destroying the entire hive. What I mean by that is this. When there is, you know, I found this channel. I forget what day it was. I was flipping through in the hundreds and hundreds. And it was an old show, I remember, like 20 years ago, maybe 15, 20 years. This guy was an exterminator. And he was like all, you know, dressed in like rock gear. Him and his brother and his mom and his dad, VexCon or whatever it is. And he loved destroying hornets and hornet nest. They have a business down south or whatever. So he went to this one house And actually, it was a bee's nest, which yellow jackets will kill you. They will absolutely kill you. And they look like bees, but they're like hornet bees or whatever. But anyway, there's some flying around, and the guy's like, well, I'm allergic. I had to go to the hospital. My son's allergic. He's only 5. He had to go to the hospital. My wife isn't allergic, but she can't do laundry because the bees have eaten through the wall to come into the house. So, his name's Billy. Billy, he's like, all right, let me take a look. Let me go up in there, whatever. He goes up in the house, opens the door. He's like, we can't even go in there. We can't even do laundry. We have to go to a laundromat because of the bees. He goes in the house. He opens the door. And he was like, oh, my God. There's bees on the floor dead because they don't live that long. And they're all flying around. He hurries up and slams the door. Long story short, he had to go get help. He had to go get bee suits on and everything. And he had to get tools. He had to cut literally the siding with a circular saw. He had to cut a hole about 4 to 5 foot tall in the side of this guy's house to get to the nest. And it all started with a little hole in the siding. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, I think that's where they're going in and out because our laundry room is right there on the other side of the wall. So, I mean, you could hear the whole wall just like vibrating. So he starts with opening like a foot of it and breaks the board off and looks. Oh, yeah, there they are, 2 feet. Oh, my God, look how big this nest is, 3 feet. I can't believe how big, 4 feet, almost 5 feet. He had to rip the side of this guy's house off. Shovels of honey and bee nest and whatever. And I got to thinking, like, that's such a perfect analogy comparison to what's happening today and how the divide, the gap, the income gap, the us and them, you know, I used to say it was the top 1%, but now I'm really starting to think it's really the top 5% because they're all going to be okay. They have their $100,000, $200,000 a year jobs. They have their big houses. They have their community strongholds wherever they live, all through. There's little nest of them all through the United States. They'll be okay. They're going to be able to survive what's about to happen for the most part because it's about compliance. You do not get to that level in this country without compliance. Without compliance. Forget everything you've ever heard. Credit is only a representation of compliance. It doesn't really matter how much money you make, how much money this, how much that. I mean, after a while, it does matter your debt to income ratio. But what they look for, your credit score only indicates one thing, is your compliance. Same thing what China does. I've been talking about this for 6-7 years now, the social credit score, which I've said for 6 or 7 years is coming to America. Social credit score, compliance, strictly physically compliant, based, algorithmic number that is based on hundreds of metrics. One of them that is just unbelievable to me, and I've told you guys this before, is how often you charge your cell phone. They were able to somehow get some sort of a metric that will give you a score of the perfect compliancy to cell phone charging. They measure tons of things, and if you have a low compliance, you get shunned out of their society. There's people in China right now that are live-in prisoners. They cannot get out of the mainland. They can't get out because their social credit score is so low. They cannot use public transportation and they cannot use air travel. their society, their communist society is so regulated. There's no getting around anything. And wait until the central bank digital currency is unleashed, which they are every single day they're working towards that. And like I said, come September, October, when the internet goes down for a while, when it comes back up, it will be a whole new world. They've been phasing out cash. They've been phasing out physical coins and currency. And now they're starting to regulate. The SEC is starting to try to, and they've done it incrementally. You know, they're really trying to regulate cryptocurrency and regulate, consolidate, just like the debacle with FTX. They're going to continue to consolidate, regulate, because really, you know, crypto is really the only thing that you can continue to use right now that is anonymous, and for the most part, and you can maintain a level of, you know, clean data from the controller's oversight and what your spending habits are and what you do and what you buy and where you go. If you're using Bitcoin, there's no way for them right now to really regulate or control or track what you're doing or stop you from doing it. Fast forward 1 year from my voice today, right this second, it's going to be a whole new world. It's going to be a brave new world. Aldous Huxley. A crypto prison nightmare is what we're going to be living in. A digital prison. And this summer is going to be like unlike anything. But what I was saying about the bee nest is this. You know, as I'm watching Billy and his brother and his dad or whoever destroy these bees, he has this chrysanthemum, like, I don't know, you could spray it on your skin, but it's like this toxic mixture of natural ingredients that it's toxic to bees and wasps and stuffs. It paralyzes them. So he's like, yeah, you like that, beating them, shoveling them. So I said to myself, like, well, what if that's a good bee right there? What if that one bee right there, that yellow jacket, what if he is, and I'm throwing up quotations, a good one? What if he is compliant? What if he follows the rules? What if he is, he's a good father to his little bees. He works hard. He, he pays his bills on time. He has a great credit score. He's going to have a good social credit score. He's a normal guy. He sees the problems in the world. He's not a woke dolt. He's not he's one of the good bees. He's one of the good bees of the world. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because he's wearing his uniform. He's wearing his spacesuit. This is something I've talked about, again, for 6 or 7 years. We're in a war. This is a war on many levels. And we're all wearing our uniforms. And you cannot take them off. Michael Jackson did, sort of. But if nobody knew Michael Jackson since the day he was 4 or 5 years old, you know what I mean? What side of what's his uniform for real? I mean, you can change your uniform, I guess, but did you know Michael Jackson wore a wig for the last 20 years? Did you know that? Because of the Pepsi debacle back in the 80s, the third-degree burns left his scalp patchy, and he had gray hair, and it was just, without his wig on, he looked like he was a 60-year-old man. For the last 20 years, we've seen Michael Jackson in a wig every time you've seen him in public. Did you also know that his nose was a prosthetic for the last about 10 to 15 years? It was a prosthetic. He's done so much damage in reconstructive surgery. The skin would turn, it would literally start turning to gangrene, and it would start rotting. So he had to constantly, this isn't conspiracy. These are doctors and FOIA requests. He had to have his nose literally reimagined every so many months because the flesh would literally start rotting. It was a prosthetic. His lips were tattooed pink. His eye outline was tattooed. His eyeliner was tattooed on. His actual real autopsy is a nightmare. You want to see him without a nose? You want to see him without his wig? It'll haunt you. It'll haunt you. Yeah. You know, he was so, and I'm sorry I'm jumping around. He was so addicted to plastic surgery that he would go in, you know, like people that get addicted to tattoos. He would go in, and it was so bad that his team of plastic surgeons, they would knock him out. They would put him under anesthesia. They would then stand around, talk, and do whatever, and they would hurt him. They would give him a little scar, cut him a little bit, couple stitches or whatever. They would do no reconstructive surgery. No matter what he wanted to change this time, no matter what he wanted to have done this time, they didn't do it. To appease him, they had to go through the whole fake process of literally like he went through surgery. They'd let him sleep for like 7-8 hours, bring him out of anesthesia all wrapped up and gauzed up and said, "Oh, Michael, it looks great. You did great. Now, you know, come back and see us in 2 days. We'll take care of the band," you know, whatever. They did nothing. They did nothing. But it would appease him, and he'd get through maybe another 8 months or a year until he started wanting to get more plastic surgery. He was literally addicted to it. I don't even know how we got on Michael Jackson, but we were talking about uniforms and what we're wearing. You can't take your uniform off. So you better get busy joining them, or you better get busy being vocal and resisting what's happening, because you and I cannot take our uniforms off. And once the nest is going to be destroyed, it doesn't matter if you're a good one, if you're a good bee. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because essentially we're all in the same nest. We are all in the same nest, except the different, and I'm saying poverty and the wealth gap. You know, we all drink the same water. We all shop at the same Walmarts, essentially. You know, I laugh at all the Umar Johnson, and they always try Tariq Nasheed, and they're like, "Oh, dude, in this store they have this," and they like, how? I mean, we're all in the same boat, literally. So, I mean, like, I don't, but the reality is, it is black people that are being used by the Zionists and the communists to do their bidding, the Satanists to do their bidding, the satanic music industry to do their bidding, the Zionist music and movie industry to do their bidding, to work their magic, to unveil their spells. It's all being completed by black people right now that are all wearing the same uniform. And in one breath, you have, you know, black people screaming at the top of their lungs at different council meetings about reparations. And then you have other black people screaming about white supremacy, and, you know, black women that are on school boards screaming about, white people are, I forget what it is. I don't even want to get into this subject, to be honest with you. But all I'm telling you is this: you better make up your mind. Because when the exterminators come, they don't care. They're not, Billy the Exterminator's not going to shake every little bee's hand and say, so tell me about yourself. Yeah. How long have you lived in the nest? And do you know the queen? Yeah. How many children do you have? How many of those little larvae are yours? How many? Where do you work? What field do you pollinate? Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go ahead and fly over that way and just wait a few minutes here. We're gonna be busy. Next bee comes out. Shake his little hand. How you doing? I'm the exterminator. Why don't you tell me about yourself? Oh, you're unemployed. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you're on bee assistance, and you've been for 25 years. Wow. Oh, you were raised like that, and your mother was raised? Okay. Single parent household? Okay. No education? Yep. Can you read? No. Because according to this right here, 1 out of 3 children cannot read. And illiteracy is rampant. This is the New York Times. Illiteracy is rampant in the Black and Native American communities. 1 out of 3 children are illiterate. And right now, statistically, we're talking 74% of the Black people in America are in fatherless homes, single parent mother homes. 74%. Now, of course, it depends on which left-leaning, right-leaning, fair, whatever. There's no such thing anymore. Depending on whatever source you're going by, whatever poll, whatever stat. Okay, it's between 65 and 75%. But you know what? Honestly, I don't even believe that. I believe it's much higher. I believe it's much higher. And it's only going to continue to get worse. See, you can't have it both ways. Like I said, you can't have it both ways. You better either join them and continue down this road of destruction, or you better start being vocal and resist. Because they are using the Black voice to destroy the Black race. You better make up your mind. And I mean, again, 1 out of 3 children, that's unreal. That is unreal. About 1 in 3 children in the United States cannot read at the basic level of comprehension. The outcomes are particularly troubling for Black and Native American children, nearly half of whom score below basic by the 8th grade. And then you have this. And then you have this. Right? Then you have this here. Let's see here.
With 2 teens shot. Hundreds of teens flooded Michigan Avenue last night, smashing car windows, trying to get into Millennium Park, prompting a major police response. Officers were escorting tourists and visitors to their cars in the Millennium Park parking garage. Shots were fired in the crowd around 9 o'clock last night near Michigan and Washington. 2 teen boys were wounded, both in fair condition. No one's in custody for that shooting. One Chicago native was stunned at what she was witnessing. Another male driver was injured when teens started jumping on his windshield, smashing it. Then they beat the man up as he sat in the driver's seat. He was taken to Northwestern Hospital.
So here's what I want to ask you. When are we going to stop pretending that this is not racially motivated as well? When does that illusion fail you specifically? I know it is. I know it is racially motivated. Absolutely racially motivated, because these kids, I mean, you know, they're fighting white supremacy. And everything that is wrong in their life is because of white supremacy. Whatever the fuck that is. But that's the reason. Aside from their peers who they've killed and beat up over these days of wilding, they targeted and attacked white people specifically. And then you have literal communists like Illinois State Senator defending these teens again, just like the summer of peace and not riots. Here we go again. It's a mass protest. It's a political act and a statement. No, it fucking isn't. No, it isn't. They're there to go and do whatever they want, steal whatever they want. So let me ask you this, smart guy. And, you know, you got this clown here. Oh, you can't blame these kids. And you know what? Expect more. Oh, you wait till this summer. You wait till this summer, right? Well, so let me ask you this then. If this is because of whatever, just it's a mass protest in Chicago, then why is the exact same thing happening in Compton?
What started off as reports of a street takeover turned out to be much more. There were multiple street takeovers throughout Compton overnight, several leading to looting. Up to 500 people may have been involved. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pulliam has details on all the chaos.
Chaos in Compton overnight.
Let me get a huddle on number 7.
A crowd of people using anything, including their own feet, to smash into this Arco convenience store at the corner of South Central Avenue and Alondra. Stunning video capturing it all. We showed it to customers Sunday.
What is your reaction to this?
It's unbelievable, unreal. I've never seen anything like that happen here.
Yeah, this is very scary, and that's not safe.
What's scary about it for you guys?
The mob of people, period. You don't know how they're going to react once they get in. And then if somebody's in there, I know that they're terrified.
Once inside, the mob seen clamoring for the goods. In this angle, you can clearly see this thief snatching condoms. All this happening while the clerk hid in the bathroom.
These are the times that we're living in. We're living in...
It's a political protest, you dummy. It's a He's gonna make balloons with political messages on who he wants to see voted into his local district council and his local state and House representatives, Senate and House representatives from his district for the state of California. This is all political. This is just a statement of we are Black and we're tired of the white supremacy, and we have people that we want elected. We follow closely the bills and legislation that's being foisted down into our legislature, and we demand a voice that represents us. That's what we want. Oh, do you really fucking believe that this gaslighting? They're gaslighting you. They're gaslighting you. They're using you against you, Black family. So again, you either need to embrace what's happening and go for it, or you better start speaking up.
Critical time. So really, it's not surprising.
Compton Sheriff's Office says the break-ins at this store and a nearby laundromat stemmed from this. Investigators say overnight, hundreds of street racers took over intersections across the city, including this one by the Arco.
That right there was unacceptable. I mean...
No. See, they're using their vehicles that they work 9 to 5 for and 40 some hours a week. They're using those vehicles to create political messages on the roads that they use the tax money is used, that they provided to their city of Compton. They're using their vehicles to create political messages onto the concrete.
Somebody needs to be in trouble.
So far, investigators have arrested at least one person in the street.
And he literally probably, or she walked in, said, oh, and then walked out, because you don't prosecute young black people anymore. Soros, who has coordinated all of this with the communist and Zionist, have put their puppets in place. And any of you guys ever seen Lord of the Rings?
Build me an army worthy of Soros.
I'm still working on it, but I'll play that again for you.
Build me an army worthy of Soros.
You like that? Build me an army worthy of Soros. In Lord of the Rings, it says, build me an army worthy of Mordor. Mordor, which is a place in the movie. It's a city or village or something. But yeah, build me an army worthy of Soros. That's what he's doing. That's what the invasion is. The 200,000 people walking across the border every day. You know, I have a much bigger video addressing all of this that I'll probably get to here in the next day or so. But we'll let this play out here.
Takeover. Staff here at the store tells me that clerk who hid in the bathroom is doing okay.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great.
Hi, Mark Brown. So there was a clerk that hid in the bathroom. How about this? This white postie right here. Now, man, you come from the South. You don't know how we do it here in Chicago. This shit right. No, understand what I'm saying? Shit, you don't get your white country ass up here. You understand me? And it was all boys, all men who beat this white bitch's ass. Let's watch. Woo! Oh, look, watch Tentavier watch this cuz with this right hook.
Absolutely random.
Oh, fuck that bitch.
Just trying to walk
literally.
Caught up in a mob.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
out-of-towners sharing their story after being beaten by teens downtown on Saturday.
A key part of the story, the Good Samaritan who stepped in to help.
Gaslighting.
Anthony Ponce is live with more tonight. Anthony?
Yes, Corey and Don, this attack happened here on the 100 block of North Wabash Avenue Saturday night. It could have ended way worse had it not been for the intervention of a truly good Samaritan who says that the video of this attack that went viral over the weekend really only captures the tail end of what she describes as an absolutely brutal attack. The victims here, a couple visiting from out of town. They're in their early 20s, staying in an Airbnb. They were out to dinner, just trying to enjoy their night.
We were just downtown in Chicago trying to shop, trying to get some food. And we were walking down the street, and there was a really big group of guys, a really big group of people.
And girls.
Yeah, guys and girls. And
yeah, girls, bitch. It was every single one of these, because I've watched this video in high def countless times. Every single one of these are males. It could be embarrassment. It could be, I don't know what it is. I don't know why he would correct her. I would be so ashamed if I was her dad, man. Like, I just can't even, there's no level to know that a bunch of men beat my daughter's ass and her so-called boyfriend could not, and did not do a fucking thing about it. He's literally stood to the side while she got her ass beat.
DJ had my hand and he was trying to lead me through the crowd of people, and they pushed him.
This ain't the South, boy. Shit, you try that out. Go to Compton and walk her down the street in the middle of Wowden and see what the fuck happens, dude. You and her ain't walking out of there. Here, let's watch him stand back while 20 dudes beat her ass.
Big group of people shop, trying to get some food. And we were walking down the street, and there was a really big group of guys, a really big group of people.
Girls.
Yeah, guys and girls. And, DJ had my hand, and he was trying to lead me through the crowd of people. And they pushed him, they pushed me. And as soon as they pushed me, I told DJ, I said, hey, they just shoved me.
The mob attack happened right near Macy's Wabash Street entrance.
And it was a mob of about 60 to 100 people.
They said they're going to kill us. They turned around and, started fighting,
They were shoeless. They didn't have they were looking for their phones, but it was no point because the phones had been taken.
So they robbed the girl. They took her shoes. They beat the fuck out of her. And it's not a hate crime. It's not a hate crime. And you're going to tell me that the sole reason that she was targeted is not because of race. I'm waiting because I'm not here to play this game anymore. That's it. You're either going to work with me to try to make changes, or I'm going to treat you like a combatant. That's it. Literally, that's it.
Both the victims and Lenora Dennis, the woman who came to their aid, say that several Chicago police officers passed by but did not intervene.
Cops drove right by it, act like they didn't see anything.
I literally went out into the street and stopped and held my hands up to a police car and asked them to stop and motioned them over to what was going on, and they just cut a path around me and just kept going.
She was eventually able to get the couple into her car, then she drove them to the police station.
Got told by the desk sergeant that this was going to happen. It was going to keep happening because Brandon Johnson got elected. That floored me.
An ambulance then took them to the hospital, but the couple was without their phones, wallets, and shoes, which had all been stolen during the attack.
I told the couple that I was going to go home to find them some shoes so that they wouldn't be barefoot for the rest of the night.
Her name is Lenore.
Wow. She gave us shoes, took us home, took us to the hospital.
Her husband as well.
Thank you.
Just do unto others. And that's a mantra that I live by every day, is just do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Do unto others where? In your home, on your street, one of you versus a mob of, they say there was every news report, 100 kids, about 100, a little around 100. Let me tell you something. If there was every bit of 500 to 800 hooligans, hoodlums in the streets, in Compton, you're talking probably 800 to 1,000. 800 to 1,000 in Compton. And, here's my question to you, because I don't take anything for face value at all. In my one video recently, I talked about Diocletian, who was a Roman emperor who invented the act of control and war, problem, reaction, solution, the Hegelian dialectic. So it literally is problem, reaction or action, and then solution. And then when you're able to stand on the top of a pyramid and control the entire process to get your outcome that you want, it's pretty easy to tear apart. That's why the Tavistock Institute and, over the years, they've been able to put words like conspiracy theorist and tinfoil hat and, all these things are met. These, these scenarios when somebody can see, oh, this is the Hegelian dialectic. This is, clearly, you can trace who this guy's biggest donors are. You can trace who was his biggest political campaigners, campaign funding. You can see who his cabinet is. I mean, it's so easy to trace back to a single controller or a single group of controllers that as soon as, they're realizing this is Hegelian's dialectic, they immediately, that's a conspiracy theory, or you're edited, or you can't comment on social media, or you can't have your voice heard on social media. Exactly what happens to Covert Radio, which I actually just had another video taken down, except I didn't get a strike for it, and YouTube just said, we're just going to take it down. No strike, though. Oh, thank you. Is Tommy Sotomayor okay, never mind. But this is the Hegelian dialectic, and I'm going to tell you what I see here. Let me ask you a question. And again, I have a bigger video coming up about this. How did these kids coordinate? How can 500, 800, 1,000 young kids all coordinate and say, let's meet up on this day at this time? This is red flag number one of why I believe this is literally controlled chaos. This is for specific reasons. And again, these are the black youth, the black voice being used to destroy the black race and or start a race war at the same time. Because you see what's happening now with Bud Light. There's momentum that's never going to be put back into a cage. It's going to be a very bloody summer into fall. Mark my words. And I'm telling you now, you need to get on the right side of this. Make your choice. I've said this since you've known me. You cannot stand in the middle of this. You cannot. This is a war, and you are at a point now where you have to choose a side. Either stay on the left side and keep hoping for your reparations so you'll stay silent. They'll keep dangling that carrot in front of your face, and your free rent, your Section 8, and your $1,000 in whatever assistance you got, whatever. Let them keep dangling that in front of you so that you're compliant in everything that they're doing. They're destroying the youth through rap music. They're destroying the youth through drugs. They're destroying the youth through now this shit. And they're going to continue this chain reaction up and up and up and up and up. In households that are 75% fatherless. Choose what you're going to do. But that's red flag number one, social media. Because by the end of summer, after the death tolls come in, after the blood is dried up, and right before the internet goes down, there's going to be a lot of new legislation. There's going to be a lot of new emergency spending. There's going to be a lot of new emergency acts that are pushed, rammed through. The Restrict Act may be one of them. We're still dealing with that as well, that I never really got to get into yet. But how did they coordinate this? How did they coordinate this? They did it through social media. Social media, number one. This is red flag number one. Problem, action, reaction, solution. Okay, so now, red flag number two. What are they doing? They're coordinating on social media to do what? Commit felonies, to commit murder, to commit crimes. Robbery, battery, name it. Vandalism. They're terrorizing business districts. You see this news report, she said, "Oh, it happened right in front of Macy's." I mean, what are they doing at Macy's? They're going there to get a bunch of free shit. Oh, I forgot. This is a political statement. With a racist named Brandon Johnson who's not going to prosecute anybody for this. In fact, he's going to encourage it. He's doing his job because this is, again, problem, reaction, solution. Red flag number 2. They're not going to a park. They're not going to a beach. They're going to the where the money is, where the big high value targets are, where the real estate is. Same thing with Compton. They're going to the businesses. They're going to the businesses. That's red flag number 2. Problem, reaction, solution. What is the result? Just like, again, this one broadcast. The police ignoring what's happening. While at the same time, captains and sergeants are telling other Chicagoans, it's going to keep happening. Just wait. It's going to get worse because Brandon Johnson was elected. Oh, just wait. You've seen nothing yet. And we're just going to drive right on past it. I don't give a fuck how many people die. I don't care if they're innocent, young, old, white, black, Asian. It don't matter. Let the bodies hit the fucking floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. They don't care. What, are they going to get out in front of a bunch of maniacs who have nothing to lose, who are armed? No, they're not going to risk their life. They're going home tonight with their $70,000, $80,000 a year job, not including their little kickbacks and side hustles that they have going on. They don't give a shit. They don't get paid enough. And not only that, nobody's going to do anything anyway. The police have said this time and time again. What is the use? The DAs will not prosecute, and now you have a mayor who is not going to prosecute. Problem, reaction, solution. That's red flag number 3. There's no help. Nobody's coming. So here's what's going to happen. Gun sales are going through the roof again. Watch this whole summer, starting now. Gun sales are going through the roof. This is the trend. And pretty soon, I have a feeling you're going to start hearing things about more control over social media. We need more control over social media. We need more software. We need more artificial intelligence. We need more software on your cell phone. We need legislation to make sure Apple and Android, all of them allow us to have our software. Just the same software that we can say, hey, there's a presidential alert, blah, 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 blah. Hey, there's a Amber Alert, blah, 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 blah. That's that level of interference on your personal devices. We need that. We need something like that because what's going to happen, we need to monitor specific keywords. We got to look out for keywords. Terrorism. This is terrorism. That's all they have to say. It's domestic terrorism. I mean, I know that the FBI and CIA continuously say that it's white supremacy groups like the Proud Boys, who are the biggest threat to saving the country that their forefathers fought and died for and invented. But it was hijacked by Zionists and communists. And then the people who found it, the peoples whose ancestors' blood is soaked into the ground, they'd label them the enemy. That they're trying to destroy the country their forefathers invented. You understand what I'm saying? That's where we're at, folks. That's where we're at. They want software now. We need to look for keywords. Well, guess what else they're going to be looking for? It ain't going to be wild and out party this weekend, downtown Chicago. Oh, suit. Then you're going to start hearing this very soon on the news. More businesses in downtown Chicago are closing their doors. Macy, a downtown Chicago staple of 57 years, has had its final sale for the flagship store that's been here since blah, 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 1907, whatever. Closing their doors for good. Month after month, through the summer of 2023, teens continued rioting and looting all of the local stores and businesses downtown Chicago. We haven't seen such a peaceful anti-white supremacy activism political stance since the summer of 2020. We have not seen such peaceful protest. Yes, there's flagship corporations and businesses vacating at alarming rates out of every major city that's predominantly being overrun by fatherless black youth. Yes, that's okay. That's white. That's peaceful protesting. Oh, what? They're burning $100,000 Teslas into the ground in Chicago and busting windows out of businesses and beating up white girls while her black boyfriend steps to the left and watches? Then they rob them and take their phones and shoes? Such peace. I mean, the political ramifications of this, man, they gonna be lit, Sue, I can't wait to get my I can't, man. Yeah, this is it's all they need their political voice. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. So this is red flag 1, 2, 3. So here we come. Mass surveillance, more cameras. Dum-dum, hey dum-dum, the cameras are to enslave you. You wilding out cuz whatever, but the ramifications, you're being used, idiot. You're being used because the security measures and the cameras that are now going to be installed are only going to add to your enslavement because of the social credit system that's coming. The wireless digital currency that is coming. The prison grid, the wireless, the Wi-Fi 5, 6G prison grid. It's coming. They got to burn the cities down again this summer, y'all. Just wait. You've seen nothing yet. You've seen nothing yet. And while this is happening, just get ready for it. Because as all these businesses start leaving the cities, the Walmarts vacate these massive buildings, Macy's gone, Walgreens gone, Gucci gone, Prada gone, this one gone, gone, all of them gone. Massive, massive, massive. Tens and tens and tens of thousands of feet of real estate, square feet of real estate. Millions and millions and millions of, maybe into the billions, because some of these flagship stores own entire, skyscrapers, 15, 20, 30 stories high. Multi-million to billion-dollar real estate opportunities are wide open. These properties, because of the summer of 2023 peaceful political burning and looting and race riots, for no reason other than whatever reason, but I'm sure they'll come up with something here soon just to justify it. But now that property's worth like 1/10 of what it was a year ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago. So what's going to happen is, what does that mean? Well, that means the controllers can come in from Israel or wherever they're coming from China, and they're going to buy up the fire cell. A building that in 2018 was worth $17 million is now going to be able to be purchased for $3 million. And then what? Well, guess what's, there's no more stores going in. honey, baby, listen to me. There's no more stores. I told you, listen to my video from around Christmas, this past Christmas 2022. The end of retail. I watched it and I seen what's going to happen. The retail is over. The new economy is online, digital money, digital economy, all tracked algorithmically online. What you buy, what you spend, where you shop, what you need, what you watch, all of it. Your dossier is being designed as we speak right now. Because every day you're on Facebook just saying, I just ate this and my aunt did this and my kid said this and look at this tattoo and then I got this outfit and then my baby, here's my sonogram. Look at my kids in the pool. Gee whiz, Maher, I got a new car and look at my house. This is the inside of my house. This is what my bathroom looks like. Oh, look at these flowers. My husband left me. I don't. All of you. It's all on record. It's all on record 24/7. And it's, you have no idea what's coming. But when they kick all the shelving out of these stores and all the last warehouse shelving's gone and the last cardboard box disappears, they're going to put $10 billion into renovation into coffin-size apartments. If you don't believe me, look into something called coffin apartments. That's what's happening in New York City right now, and it's been happening. That's what's been mainly happening in Hong Kong and different parts of Japan, especially. Literal coffin-size apartments for thousands of dollars a month. And they have it so that, again, those people, too, are literally living prisoners. They cannot afford to get out of the coffin apartments because they either become homeless and try to save some money, or they're stuck paying thousands of dollars for a space they can barely stretch out in. I'll try to link something in the description there. Scroll down. It'll say coffin apartments or something like that. But yeah. You're going to see 20, 30, 40 stories of coffin apartments in all of these cities that are being destroyed over these next several months. I mean, because let's face it, with 200,000 illegal immigrants coming in every single month, just walking right across the border, they got to live somewhere, right? I'm Covert Radio. We got an army you can see and an army you don't know nothing about.
This is to the media, to your twisted, immoral society and your communist government. We hate you all, and we are ready for war. We will always speak up and expose the corruption, the authoritarianism, the tyranny, and the hate.
Truth dispels lies, as light dispels darkness.
From an undisclosed location, deep in an occupied zone, you are listening to Covert Radio.